Hey guys, it's Kelly. We've been in the new RV a couple of weeks, and I'm going to take you through the first couple of projects we've done in the new RV. They are really cool, and everybody's happy with them except Cammy. So we did the first project in the new RV. Cammy sits in front of this door every day and barks at everything that walks by. So for 79 cents, I put in black poster board so she can no longer see outside. Haha. Sorry, Cammy. So as you can tell, we have a lot of spices. This is probably about half of them. They were in the pantry door in the old RV. But this RV, we had two small shelves in here, two small pull-out drawers. And Jody has replaced it with this thing that can hold all the spices. So we took the drawer that was in the bottom of the other cabinet and put it about halfway down in this one. That gives us room for the pans and the bigger items. Still have room on the bottom for the cookie sheets and cutting boards. And then the drawer that was here, of course, for the spatulas and spoons and stuff like that. Worked out perfectly. Yay! Second project done. So our third project was to add more storage in the bathroom. So we added these two little shelves inside the cabinet, which gave us a little more storage. We added a wine rack and another shelf for towels. And then we added these shelves on the side of the mirror to give us a little more storage. And then we added another shelf on the other side.
Hey guys, Jody with Only Have One Life to Live. Today we're putting in a Clear Source Ultra water filtration system. I'm putting it inside the coach so that we can prevent freeze and any cracking on the actual unit itself. And this has got 3 filters. One of them also filters bacteria and viruses and those types of things, other than just the cleaning of the water itself for minerals and rust and stuff like that. So here we go. I'll show you what I've done to prep this thing out here in just a second. So here's the access in our Riverstone Legacy 42 FSKG, and in the back you can see I've opened up this unit here, this compartment, and in there is the plumbing, and right outside is the water closet or the water bay. And so I've got this Clear Source water filtration system. It's got the 3 different filters. I think it's a 1 micron, a 0.5 micron, and then a 0.1 micron, if I remember right, but I'll get that squared away if it's not right. And I went ahead and to make this a little bit easier for myself, I've purchased some brass quick connects, so that if I need to get this thing out of here in the future, it's not completely permanent in the way, and I have to redo everything just to pull stuff out. And if I want to change this thing and move it around a little bit, I can do it in this flexible hose here. It's just the Campo water hose. Hopefully that'll last me for at least a couple of seasons. And I've again attached quick connects on each end, so I can just sort of pop this out real quick if I need to and move it out, replace it, whatever the case may be. But those little valves quick connect on both sides, and I can just pull this thing out as a single unit. On the opposite end, I've taken and I've put in an elbow, and so what my intentions are is to breach the line, the water supply line that feeds the rest of the coach, and then to put one of these ends on the end valve coming into the tubes and into the unit here and across, and then on the opposite side go back into the same cut that I made earlier. So just one cut on the inside of the line, a couple of these little quick elbows and a water hose and a couple of brass fittings. I did use the solid brass quick connects here with O-rings. So again, I can just turn the water off, pop them out, replace the O-ring if I need to. But it won't be moving around much. It won't get used much from, you know, a back and forth kind of motion. So I think it'll be pretty stable and pretty straightforward for at least a year or two. And we'll go from there. So I went ahead and turned the water off. I've got this typical blue filter out here on the water line. That's all we've had. And this particular facility here, RV side, has been quite muddy. Like this is a brand new gauge that I put in literally 10 days ago. And you can tell all the corrosion and stuff around this thing already. So there's a lot of debris in this water here, and it's kind of muddy looking coming out from up here. So and the inside, it doesn't really look like it's great to drink. It's clear, but it's kind of cloudy. So I went ahead and I've got a low point drain up here in the forward storage bay. Went ahead and turned that low point drain on after I turned the water off and disconnected my water here at the water bay. And I also used my little, you know, handy little extension cordy kind of thing here, and just, you know, sprayed out any water that may be in there, just to try and relieve the pressure. And I can confirm there's no pressure on the line here by looking at the water gauge. It says 0 psi, so there's nothing there. I'm probably gonna have a little water leakage whenever I do that, but I'll get some towels in there and clean that up pretty quick. I see I got to do some vacuuming in there too, because I can see a little bit of dust from the road travel and stuff that's happened from there cutting the wood and stuff originally at the factory. So let me get in there and clean that up and be back with you. By the way, if you've never done PEX before, well, welcome to the club, but it's actually pretty simple. All you need is one of these little rings sized appropriately for your PEX, piece of Plex, whatever sort of valve you're going to put in place, T-valve or an elbow, or the case may be. You just put the little ring over the PEX, put the valve in place, takes a little working it in there, and then you get one of these little tools. You get one of these little PEX tools, and it's got a little end there and a release bar on this side. So you just press the release button if it's closed, and you insert this little part of the PEX here. You see this little adjustment here, right here on this part of the ring, and you put that into this hole like that, and then you just cock this thing until you get it tightened. And this particular tool has a little light on it, an LED light on it. When you've done enough crimping, the LED light turns blue. I don't know if you can see that or not, but the LED light right here, right there, is going to turn blue. And that lets you know you've crimped far enough. And then you press the release button to let it go, and you have a T-valve, in this case, inserted into a piece of Plex. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. All right, here we go. We're about to go inside here and cut the water valve. Again, I've drained the water lines, hit the low point drain valve, relieved the pressure, disconnected the water, and all I'm going to do now is go in there and cut that hose and insert 2 elbows. One into the lower portion of the hose I cut, one into the upper portion I cut, and then I'm going to mount this inside there, just to keep it inside the heated area. When I get done with that, we've got an installed ring alarm system. So I bought these freeze warning sensors and water notification sensors. So I'm going to put these down on the bottom down there in this area, so that I'll know if there's ever any leaks inside the area or not. And I'm going to probably put a couple of them in there, and then I've got a main water manifold up in the forward bay forward storage bay. So I'm going to put 1 or 2 of these in that area as well, just so that I've always got notification of any specific leaks that may be going on or any freezing that may be happening around the water areas. So I'll get those done here in just a little bit as soon as I get all this other put in. All right, so I believe I found the supply line. There's the water coming in from the outside. And here is this piece of Plex here is coming up and supplying the rest of the water manifold system here. So I'm going to take and cut this line right here in the center. And then once I cut it in the center, I'm going to supply I'm going to put one of those elbows in going downward, and that's going to be the in from the water system outside and into the water filter system. And then the other one is going to go in the up position, and it's going to go from the water filter system back into the supply here, going to the rest of the house of the coach. Here is the supply line, so I'm just going to sort of move that over just a little bit. And now I've got one up and one down. Okay. So I'm going to grab one of these PEX rings and put on there. And I'm going to take the inside and I'm going to drive it into this PEX tubing. Okay. That looks like that's in good. And then I'm going to take this ring now. Then you've got 2 crimps on that. We should be good to go. And that plugs into the supply line of the filter system. All right, I'm going to turn the water on and let the water run through the lines to get all the air out of the lines and through the water filter, and let that fill up as well, and let it come out the other side. And then I'm going to bring the line back in so I don't insert a bunch of air into the water system. All right, guys, here's the inside. The water comes in from the outside over there, right there. You can see where I spliced the line in. So the line goes to the water filter system and then comes out via this end. And there is where I'm going to plug it in. That's the line I cut earlier. I just twisted it around so I could get to it. Push that right in. See how easy that went in? And then I'm going to take these little things and I'm going to secure 2 of them back to back like this. All right, gang, so I've got that supply line in connected to this hose. I've connected my brass quick connect valve. I'm checking for leaks on it. I'm checking leaks from this side. All right, guys, there's the finished installation. Literally took about an hour, hour and a half, maybe another hour of planning. So 2 hours altogether. Water comes in from the outside through that line into that T that I cut, into this end of the water filter, out that end of the water filter, back down through that line, back in, and into this same back down into that T again. And that's it. 2 cuts. 1 cut on the water line, 1 cut on the Plex, 2 elbows, 4 of those O-rings, and you're done. And now I've got a whole house water filter system. I did use some self-tapping screws just to drill this in and secure it. Again, put it out here in the bay so that it would be air conditioned, if you will, and heated, and hopefully it won't freeze out here. And then I can get easy access to change those filters out. So there you go. 1 project down, and I don't know, probably a dozen more to go. We'll talk to you soon. Until then, remember, you only have 1 life to live, so live it well.